First contact and enrollment. The day Earth joined the Galactic Federation marked a turning point in human history. It was a crisp autumn morning when the sleek, silvery ships descended from the sky, their arrival broadcast on every screen across the globe. Humanity held its collective breath, equal parts terrified and exhilarated by the prospect of first contact. As it turned out, the aliens came not to conquer, but to invite. Earth, they explained, had finally reached a level of technological and social development that qualified it for membership in the vast interstellar community known as the Galactic Federation. Among the many opportunities this new membership afforded was access to the prestigious Galactic Academy, an institution of higher learning that brought together the brightest young minds from across the cosmos. It was a chance for humanity to prove itself on an intergalactic stage. Maya Chen sat in her family's living room, watching the news with wide-eyed wonder. At 17, she was in her final year of high school and had been fretting about college applications. Now, suddenly, the universe had quite literally opened up before her. "I'm going to apply," she announced to her parents, her voice filled with determination. Her mother looked concerned. "Maya, sweetie, we don't know anything about this academy. It could be dangerous." "Mom, this is the opportunity of a lifetime," Maya argued. "How can I not try?" Her father, a quantum physicist, nodded thoughtfully. "She's right, dear. This could be an incredible chance for Maya to learn and grow, and to represent humanity." In the weeks that followed, Maya threw herself into the application process. It was unlike anything she'd ever encountered before. In addition to her academic achievements, she had to demonstrate problem-solving skills, adaptability, and even undergo a series of physical and psychological evaluations. The day the results came in, Maya's hands shook as she opened the holographic message. Her heart soared as she read the words. "Congratulations, Maya Chen. You have been accepted into the Galactic Academy." As one of only 50 humans selected for the inaugural class, Maya felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. She wasn't just going to school. She was going to be an ambassador for her entire species. The next few months were a whirlwind of preparation. Maya underwent intensive training, learning about alien cultures, basic xenobiology, and even receiving a neural implant that would allow her to understand and communicate in any language used in the Federation. But her most important preparation came in the form of ARIA, Artificial Responsive Intelligence Assistant. ARIA was a cutting-edge AI, designed to help Maya navigate the complexities of alien cultures and provide support in her studies. The AI took the form of a small, iridescent orb that could project holographic interfaces and communicate directly with Maya's neural implant. "Hello, Maya." Aria's melodic voice echoed in her mind the first time they connected. "I look forward to assisting you in your journey at the Galactic Academy." On the day of departure, Maya stood at the spaceport, her family gathered around her. Her mother hugged her tightly, tears in her eyes. "Remember who you are, Maya. You carry the hopes of humanity with you, but you also carry our love." Her father handed her a small device. "It's a quantum entanglement communicator," he explained. "It'll allow us to talk in real time, no matter how far apart we are." With a final wave goodbye, Maya boarded the sleek starship that would take her to her new life. As Earth shrank to a blue marble behind her, she felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. She was venturing into the unknown, carrying the dreams of her species with her. The journey took several days, during which Maya studied feverishly, absorbing as much information as she could about her future classmates and the academy itself. ARIA was an invaluable help, quizzing her on alien customs and helping her understand the complex social dynamics she would soon be navigating. Finally, the ship dropped out of faster-than-light travel, and Maya got her first glimpse of the Galactic Academy. It was a massive structure, a blend of gleaming metal and crystalline towers that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The entire complex orbited a binary star system, the two suns casting an ethereal glow over the scene. As the ship docked, Maya took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. "Ready for this, ARIA?" she thought to her AI companion. As ready as one can be for the unknown, Maya, Araya replied. Remember, you've earned your place here. You belong. With those words of encouragement, Maya stepped off the ship and into a crowd of aliens of all shapes, sizes, and colors. Some were humanoid, others defied easy description. There were beings made of crystal, gelatinous creatures that flowed rather than walked, and even some that seemed to exist partially in other dimensions. A tall, elegant being with iridescent skin and 4 arms approached her. Welcome, Maya Chen of Earth, it said, its voice melodious and gender-neutral. I am Zortal, your orientation guide. Please, follow me. As Maya followed Zortal through the sprawling complex, she couldn't help but feel overwhelmed. The technology around her was beyond anything she'd ever imagined. Holographic displays floated everywhere, displaying information in languages she'd never seen before. Gravity seemed to shift and change as they moved through different sections of the academy. This will be your living quarter, Zortal announced, gesturing to a door that arised open at their approach. Inside was a small but comfortable room that seemed to adjust its environment as Maya entered. The room is adaptive and will learn your preferences over time, Zortal explained. Maya set down her few belongings and turned to her guide. When do classes start? She asked, eager to begin despite her nervousness. Zortal's mouth parts twitched in what Maya hoped was a smile. Your enthusiasm is admirable, young human. Classes begin tomorrow. For now, I suggest you rest and acclimate. The first few days can be challenging for new species. As if on cue, Maya felt a wave of dizziness wash over her. The reality of her situation suddenly hit her full force. She was light years from home, surrounded by aliens about to compete academically with the brightest minds in the galaxy. Thank you, Zortal, she managed to say. I think I will rest. As the door closed behind her guide, Maya sank onto the bed, which molded comfortingly around her. Araya, she thought, what have I gotten myself into? The AI's response was calm and reassuring. An adventure, Maya. You've gotten yourself into the adventure of a lifetime, and I'll be with you every step of the way. With that comforting thought, Maya closed her eyes, trying to rest before her first day at the Galactic Academy. Little did she know, the challenges ahead would test not just her intellect, but her very understanding of what it meant to be human in a vast, complex universe. As she drifted off to sleep, the binary suns cast their alien light through her window, a constant reminder that she was no longer in the world she knew. The adventure had only just begun. Facing adversity. Maya's first day at the Galactic Academy dawned with a cacophony of alien sounds. Her room's adaptive systems had adjusted to mimic an Earth sunrise, but the similarity ended there. Outside her window, the binary stars cast an otherworldly glow across the crystalline structures of the Academy. Good morning, Maya. Araya's voice chimed in her mind. Your first class, Introduction to Xenophysics, begins in 30 minutes. I suggest we depart in 10 to allow for navigation. Maya nodded, quickly dressing in the standard Academy uniform, a sleek, silvery bodysuit that seemed to adjust to her body temperature. As she stepped out into the corridor, she was immediately swept up in a tide of alien students. The diversity was staggering. Beings of all shapes, sizes, and compositions moved through the halls. Some floated, others oozed, and still others seemed to phase in and out of reality. Maya felt a moment of panic, suddenly aware of how different she was. Remember, Maya, Araya's voice soothed, difference is the norm here. Your uniqueness is an asset, not a liability. Taking a deep breath, Maya made her way to her first class. The lecture hall was a massive amphitheater, with seats designed to accommodate a wide range of physiologies. As she took her seat, she noticed a few other humans scattered throughout the room, looking just as overwhelmed as she felt. The professor, a being that appeared to be made entirely of swirling gases contained within a translucent field, materialized at the center of the room. Welcome, students, to Introduction to Xenophysics. Today, we will begin by examining the fundamental forces that shape our universe, forces that may behave quite differently depending on your species' native dimension. As the lecture progressed, Maya found herself struggling to keep up. The concepts were so far beyond what she had learned on Earth that it felt like trying to understand quantum mechanics with an elementary school education. "Don't worry," Araya whispered in her mind. "I'm recording everything. We can review and break it down later." After class, as Maya was trying to make sense of her notes, she felt a sharp prod in her back. Turning, she found herself face to face with a group of alien students. Their leader, a tall, insectoid being with iridescent wings and multiple compound eyes, clicked its mandibles menacingly. "Well, well," it said, its voice translating in Maya's mind with a sneer. "If it isn't one of the new primates. Tell me, Dirt Dweller, how does it feel to be so primitive?" Maya felt her cheeks flush with anger and embarrassment. She opened her mouth to retort, but another voice cut in. "Back off, Zixrick," came a rumbling voice. A large, rocky-skinned being stepped between Maya and the insectoid alien. "Or have you forgotten the Academy's policy on interspecies harassment?" Zixrick's antennae twitched in annoyance, but it backed away. "This isn't over, primate," it hissed before stalking off with its group. The rocky being turned to Maya. "Don't mind, Zixrick. Some species have trouble accepting newcomers. I'm Korg, by the way." "Maya," she replied, grateful for the intervention. "Thanks for the help." Korg's craggy face split into what might have been a smile. "Us non-standard types have to stick together. Come on, I'll show you to the nutrition center." Over the next few weeks, Maya fell into a routine. The classes were challenging beyond anything she had ever experienced, but with Ari's help and her own determination, she began to adapt. She found herself excelling in areas that required creative problem-solving and lateral thinking, skills that seemed to come naturally to humans, but were less common among some of the other species. Her friendship with Korg grew, and she met other outcasts. Lyra, a bioluminescent aquatic being who struggled in the Academy's primarily land-based environment, and Jen, an energy being who had difficulty interacting with physical matter. Together, they formed a study group, each bringing their unique perspectives and abilities to help one another. However, Maya's successes didn't go unnoticed. As her grades in practical application courses began to rise, she found herself the target of increasing hostility from Zixrick and its clique. The bullying escalated from snide comments to more direct confrontations. One day, after acing a particularly difficult xenobiology practical exam, Maya found her path blocked by Zixrick and two of its cronies, a gelatinous blob that oozed menace and a tall, spindly being with too many limbs to count. "You think you're so clever, don't you, primate?" Zixrick chittered. "But you're out of your depth here. This isn't your little mudball. You don't belong." Maya felt fear curl in her stomach, but she stood her ground. "I earned my place here, just like you, Zixrick. Now, please, let me pass." The insectoid alien's wings buzzed angrily. "Or what? You'll call your rocky friend. He's not here to protect you now." As Zixrick advanced, Maya felt Ari's presence in her mind. "Maya, their exoskeletons are highly sensitive to sonic vibrations. The device your father gave you. Use it." Without hesitation, Maya pulled out the quantum entanglement communicator. It wasn't just for communication. Her father, ever protective, had built in a few extra features. She quickly adjusted a setting and activated it. A high-pitched whine filled the air. To Maya, it was barely noticeable, but Zixrick and its friends recoiled in pain, their sensory organs overloaded by the sonic pulse. What did you do?" Zixrick gasped, its mandibles clicking in distress. Maya stood tall, her voice steady. "That was a warning. I don't want trouble, Zixrick, but I won't be bullied. I'm here to learn and to represent my species. If you have a problem with that, take it up with the Academy board." As the alien bullies retreated, Maya felt a mix of triumph and concern. She had stood up for herself, but she knew this was far from over. The academy was proving to be more challenging than she had ever imagined, and not just academically. "Well handled, Maya." Araya's voice came, tinged with approval. "But be cautious. You've made a statement, and there may be consequences." Maya nodded, her resolve strengthening. She was no longer just a student trying to survive in an alien environment. She was becoming a representative of humanity, showing the galaxy what her species was capable of. The challenges ahead were daunting, but for the first time since arriving at the academy, Maya felt truly ready to face them. As she walked to her next class, head held high, she didn't notice the shadowy figure that had observed the entire confrontation. In a distant part of the academy, a plan was already forming, one that would test Maya and her fellow humans to their very limits. The game was just beginning, and the stakes were higher than Maya could possibly imagine. The Great Academic Tournament. The news spread through the Galactic Academy like wildfire, causing a buzz of excitement and apprehension among the student body. The Academy's Board of Overseers had announced the commencement of the Great Academic Tournament, a multidisciplinary competition that would push participants to their intellectual and physical limits. Maya sat in the grand auditorium, surrounded by a sea of alien faces, all fixated on the holographic display hovering above the stage. The Academy's Chancellor, a being of pure energy contained within an ornate metallic shell, addressed the assembly. "Students of the Galactic Academy," the Chancellor's voice resonated, "the time has come for you to prove your worth not just to yourselves, but to the entire galaxy. The Great Academic Tournament will test your knowledge, creativity, and adaptability across various fields of study. The winning team will bring honor to their species and earn a fully funded research grant of their choosing." Maya felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. This was her chance to prove that humans belonged among the stars. As the Chancellor explained the rules, Maya's mind raced with possibilities. Teams will consist of 4 members, each from a different species. The Chancellor continued, "You have 1 week to form your teams and register. Choose wisely, for your teammates will be your greatest asset or your greatest liability." As the assembly dispersed, Maya felt a hand on her shoulder. It was Korg, his rocky face set in determination. "Maya, we should form a team," he rumbled. "With your creativity, my strength, Lyra's analytical skills, and Jen's unique perspective, we could have a real shot at this." Maya nodded, a smile spreading across her face. "I was hoping you'd say that. Let's find Lyra and Jen and make it official." Over the next few days, Maya and her team prepared intensively for the tournament. They spent hours in the Academy's vast library, absorbing knowledge from across the galaxy. Araya proved invaluable, helping Maya process and retain information at an unprecedented rate. However, their preparation didn't go unnoticed. Zixric and its clique watched from the shadows, their compound eyes gleaming with malice. The insectoid alien had not forgotten the humiliation it had suffered at Maya's hands. On the eve of the tournament, as Maya was returning to her quarters after a late-night study session, she found her path blocked by Zixric and its cronies. "Enjoying your little study group, primate?" Zixric chittered. "Don't get too comfortable. The tournament has a way of weeding out the weak." Maya stood her ground, her hand instinctively moving towards her father's device. "Is that a threat, Zixric?" The alien's mandibles clicked in what might have been a laugh. "A warning, Dirt Dweller. This isn't your playground anymore. The galaxy is vast and unforgiving. You'll see." As Zixric and its group slithered away, Maya felt a chill run down her spine. She quickly informed her teammates about the encounter, and they agreed to be on guard for any foul play. The day of the tournament arrived, and the academy was transformed. Holographic arenas sprouted throughout the campus, each designed to test a different set of skills. Teams gathered, a cacophony of alien languages filling the air as last-minute strategies were discussed. Maya and her team stood ready at their assigned starting point, each wearing a device that would track their progress and vital signs throughout the competition. The first challenge was announced, a complex, multi-dimensional puzzle that required manipulation of quantum fields. As they worked through the puzzle, Maya noticed something odd. The quantum fields were behaving erratically, making the challenge far more difficult than it should have been. She caught a glimpse of Zixrik's team in a nearby arena, progressing with suspicious ease. "Guys," Maya whispered to her team, "I think someone's tampered with our equipment. We need to adapt." Thinking quickly, Maya used her understanding of Earth's physics to create a makeshift model of the quantum fields. With Jen's ability to perceive multiple dimensions and Lyra's precise calculations, they managed to solve the puzzle, finishing just behind the leading teams. As they moved from challenge to challenge, it became clear that someone was indeed sabotaging their efforts. In a xenobiology practical, their specimen was switched with a far more aggressive species. During a spacecraft navigation simulation, their star charts were subtly altered. Despite these setbacks, Maya and her team persevered. They used their diverse backgrounds and abilities to overcome each obstacle, often finding unconventional solutions that surprised even the judges. Maya's human intuition and creativity, combined with her teammates' unique skills, proved to be a formidable combination. By the end of the first day, despite the sabotage attempts, Maya's team had secured a spot in the top 5. As they gathered in Maya's quarters to rest and strategize, the mood was a mix of exhaustion and determination. "We've got to find out who's behind this," Korg growled, his rocky exterior cracking slightly with frustration. Lyra's bioluminescent skin pulsed with agitation. "It has to be Zixrik and its team. They've had it out for Maya since day one." Maya nodded, her brow furrowed in thought. "Agreed, but we need proof. And more importantly, we need to be prepared for whatever they might try next." As they discussed potential strategies, Araya's voice chimed in Maya's mind. "Maya, I've been analyzing the pattern of sabotage attempts. There's a 87% probability that the next major attempt will occur during tomorrow's practical physics challenge." Maya relayed this information to her team, and together they formulated a plan. They would not only prepare for the challenge itself, but also set a trap to catch their saboteurs in the act. As they finalized their strategy, Maya couldn't help but feel a swell of pride. Despite the adversity, despite being in an alien environment light years from home, she and her team were not just surviving. They were thriving. They were proving that humanity, with its adaptability and ingenuity, could stand toe-to-toe with the most advanced species in the galaxy. But as Maya drifted off to sleep that night, her mind couldn't shake off Zixrik's ominous warning. The tournament was far from over, and she had a feeling that the real challenges were yet to come. Tomorrow would be a turning point, not just in the competition, but in Maya's journey to prove humanity's worth among the stars. Little did she know, forces beyond her imagination were at play, and the outcome of this tournament would have consequences that would ripple across the entire galaxy. Rising to the challenge. The second day of the great academic tournament dawned with an air of tension. Maya and her team arrived early at the practical physics arena, their senses alert for any sign of sabotage. The challenge before them was daunting. They had to stabilize a miniature artificially created star, preventing it from going supernova, while extracting maximum energy from it. As they approached their assigned station, Araya's voice whispered in Maya's mind. "Caution, Maya. I'm detecting unusual energy signatures in your equipment." Maya nodded imperceptibly, signaling her team. They had prepared for this. While Korg and Lyra began the standard pre-challenge checks, Maya and Jen implemented their secret plan. Using Jen's ability to manipulate energy fields, they created a subtle detection grid around their work area. If anyone tried to interfere with their equipment, they'd know instantly. The challenge began, and Maya's team worked in perfect synchronization. Korg's understanding of stellar mechanics, Lyra's precise calculations, Jen's energy manipulation, and Maya's intuitive problem-solving allowed them to make steady progress. Halfway through the allotted time, their trap was sprung. A shimmer in the air revealed a cloaked figure attempting to sabotage their containment field. Maya's eyes widened as she recognized the figure. It wasn't Sixric, but a senior student she had seen talking with the insectoid alien. "Now," Maya shouted. Zen immediately expanded their energy field, trapping the saboteur. Korg moved with surprising speed for his rocky build, restraining the intruder. The commotion drew the attention of the judges and other teams. As the cloaked figure was revealed and questioned, a chain of events unfolded rapidly. Other teams came forward, reporting similar sabotage attempts. An investigation was immediately launched, and the tournament was temporarily suspended. In the chaos that followed, Maya and her team found themselves at the center of a galaxy-wide controversy. News of the sabotage spread quickly, and suddenly, all eyes were on the small group of outcasts who had exposed a conspiracy within the prestigious Galactic Academy. As the Academy Board convened an emergency session, Maya and her teammates were called to testify. Standing before the imposing council of alien educators and administrators, Maya felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. This wasn't just about winning a tournament anymore. It was about upholding the integrity of interstellar education. "Maya Chen of Earth," the Chancellor's voice boomed, "your team's actions have brought to light a disturbing breach of our most sacred principles. We commend your integrity and quick thinking. However, this incident raises questions about the fairness of the entire competition. What do you propose we do?" Maya took a deep breath, feeling the eyes of the galaxy upon her. This was a defining moment, not just for her, but for humanity's place in the cosmic community. "Honored Chancellor, esteemed board," Maya began, her voice steady despite her nerves. "What happened here is indeed a violation of trust. But it's also an opportunity. An opportunity to show that the Galactic Academy stands for fairness and justice across all species." She paused, gathering her thoughts. "I propose that instead of canceling the tournament, we use this incident to create a new challenge. One that tests not just our academic knowledge, but our ethics, our ability to cooperate across species lines, and our commitment to truth." A murmur ran through the assembly. The Chancellor's energy form pulsed with interest. "An intriguing proposal, young human. What exactly do you suggest?" Maya's mind raced, but she felt a calm certainty as she spoke. "A multi-species task force, formed from all competing teams, working together to uncover the full extent of this conspiracy. We'll use our diverse skills and knowledge not to compete against each other, but to protect the integrity of the Academy and, by extension, the intellectual future of our galaxy." The board chambers erupted in discussion. Some members nodded in approval, while others expressed skepticism. After what seemed like an eternity, the Chancellor raised a metallic appendage for silence. "Your proposal is unprecedented, Maya Chen. But these are unprecedented times. The board approves. The Great Academic Tournament will be restructured as the Great Cooperative Challenge. All teams will work together to investigate this conspiracy and propose reforms to prevent such incidents in the future." As the announcement was made, Maya felt a mix of relief and apprehension. They had avoided a diplomatic disaster, but the real challenge was just beginning. She looked at her teammates, seeing determination reflected in their alien faces. Over the next few days, the Academy transformed. Former competitors became allies, pooling their knowledge and resources. Maya found herself working alongside beings she had once viewed as adversaries, including a reluctant Sixric, whose team had been cleared of direct involvement in the sabotage. The investigation uncovered a web of corruption that stretched beyond the Academy, implicating several prominent figures in the Galactic Federation. Maya's human intuition, combined with the logical reasoning of her alien colleagues, proved instrumental in connecting the dots. As they delved deeper, Maya began to understand the true scope of their challenge. This wasn't just about academic integrity. It was about the future of interspecies cooperation in the face of those who sought to maintain the old power structures. With each breakthrough, each small victory, Maya felt a growing sense of purpose. She was no longer just a student trying to prove herself. She was part of something bigger, something that could shape the future of the galaxy. As the investigation neared its climax, Maya received an encrypted message from an unknown source. The contents made her blood run cold. "You're getting too close. Back off, or your species will pay the price." Maya realized that the conspiracy ran deeper than anyone had imagined. The final challenge would be more dangerous than anything they had faced before. But as she looked around at the diverse group of beings working tirelessly beside her, she knew they were ready. The stage was set for a confrontation that would determine not just the outcome of a school competition, but the future of galactic society itself. And at the center of it all stood Maya, a young human from Earth, about to face the greatest test of her life. Triumph of humanity. The Great Cooperative Challenge had entered its final phase. The combined efforts of the former competing teams had uncovered a vast conspiracy that threatened not just the Galactic Academy, but the stability of the entire Galactic Federation. At the heart of this web of deceit was a shadowy organization known as the Purists, a group dedicated to maintaining the dominance of certain superior species and preventing the rise of newcomers like humanity. Maya stood before the hastily assembled war room, surrounded by her diverse team of allies. Holograms flickered, displaying the fruits of their investigation. A complex network of corrupt officials, manipulated test scores, and secret communications. "We've traced the source of the encryption on that threat I received," Maya announced, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "It's coming from within the Academy itself, specifically from the office of Dean Vox Trilon." A gasp rippled through the room. Dean Vox Trilon was one of the most respected administrators in the Academy, known for his advocacy of interspecies cooperation. Zixric, who had become an unlikely ally in recent days, clicked its mandibles in agitation. "This is madness. Why would Vox Trilon be involved with the Purists? It goes against everything he stands for." Maya nodded. "Exactly. We think Vox Trilon has been playing a long game, positioning himself as a progressive while secretly working to undermine new species like humans. The sabotage in the tournament was just a small part of a much larger plan." Lyra's bioluminescent skin pulsed with nervous energy. "So what do we do? We're just students. How can we take on a conspiracy that goes all the way up to the dean?" Maya felt the weight of all eyes on her. In that moment, she realized how far she had come from the nervous Earth girl who had first arrived at the Academy. She stood tall, her voice filled with determination. "We do what humans have always done when faced with impossible odds. We get creative, we work together, and we refuse to give up." Over the next few hours, Maya and her team formulated a daring plan. They would confront Dean Vox Trilon directly, but not before setting a trap that would expose his true nature to the entire Academy, and by extension, the Galactic Federation. As they made their final preparations, Maya felt a hand on her shoulder. It was Zixric, its compound eyes reflecting a complexity of emotions. I was wrong about you, Maya," the insectoid alien chittered softly. "About humans, I thought you were primitive, but your species has a strength I never understood before. No matter what happens, it has been an honor to work with you." Maya smiled, placing her hand on Zixric's exoskeleton in a gesture of friendship. "Thank you, Zixric. We're stronger together than we ever were apart." The confrontation with Dean Vox Trilon was a masterpiece of strategy and teamwork. As Maya and her core team entered the dean's office under the pretense of presenting their findings, other members of their alliance were strategically positioned throughout the Academy, ready to act. "Ah, Maya-Chen," Vox Trilon greeted them, his tentacled face arranged in a facsimile of a welcoming smile. "I understand you've made some interesting discoveries. Please, enlighten me." Maya took a deep breath, then launched into a carefully prepared presentation. As she spoke, she watched Vox Trilon's reactions closely, noting the subtle shifts in his posture and coloration that ARIA was analyzing in real time. Halfway through the presentation, Maya sprung the trap. And that's why we know, Dean Vox Trelon, that you are the leader of the purists. The Dean's reaction was instantaneous. His form shifted, tentacles lashing out with surprising speed. But Maya and her team were ready. Korg intercepted the attack, his rocky body absorbing the blow. Jen created an energy barrier, trapping Vox Trelon in place. "It's over, Dean," Maya declared, her voice carrying through the Academy-wide broadcast that had been secretly activated. "Your true nature is exposed." What followed was chaos. Vox Trelon, realizing he was cornered, launched into a tirade that confirmed every suspicion. His words, filled with vitriol against lesser species and plans for maintaining galactic inequality, echoed through every corridor of the Academy. As security forces moved in, Maya felt a mixture of triumph and sadness. They had won, but at the cost of shattering the illusions many had held about the fairness of galactic society. In the days that followed, the Galactic Federation was shaken to its core. The exposure of the purists led to a wave of reforms across multiple institutions. The Galactic Academy, once a bastion of elitism, was reborn as a true meritocracy, open to all species regardless of their evolutionary history. Maya and her team were hailed as heroes. Their actions had not only saved the integrity of the Academy, but had sparked a revolution in interstellar relations. Humanity, once seen as upstart newcomers, were now respected for their ingenuity, adaptability, and unwavering spirit. As Maya stood on the stage at the closing ceremony of the restructured Great Cooperative Challenge, she looked out at the sea of faces, human and alien alike. The Chancellor's voice boomed across the auditorium. "Maya Chen and her team have shown us the true meaning of galactic cooperation. Their actions remind us that diversity is not just to be tolerated, but celebrated. It is the key to our shared future among the stars." As applause thundered through the hall, Maya felt a sense of profound accomplishment. She had come to the Galactic Academy to prove that humans belonged among the stars. Instead, she and her friends had shown that all species working together could create a brighter future than any could achieve alone. The adventure was far from over. New challenges would arise, new threats to face. But as Maya looked at her friends, Korg, Lyra, Jen, and even Zixric, she knew that whatever the galaxy threw at them, they would face it together. As the ceremony concluded and the assembled beings began to disperse, Aria's voice whispered in Maya's mind. "Congratulations, Maya. You've not only represented humanity, you've changed the course of galactic history." Maya smiled, her heart full of pride and hope for the future. "No, Aria," she fought back. "We did it, all of us together, and this is just the beginning." As she left the stage, ready to face whatever new adventures awaited, Maya knew one thing for certain. Humanity had found its place among the stars, not through dominance or superiority, but through cooperation, creativity, and an indomitable spirit. The galaxy would never be the same again.